Thanks for jumping on, guys. This is our October 27th team call, Team Fully Fit, and we have Lacey on the line today to chat with us about tracking, and she's going to give us a kind of an overview about why tracking is so important and why we need to be doing it, and maybe even talking about a couple of the different ways that we can track, because there are so many different ways, and it's really just about finding one that works for you. And then she's going to give us a little sneak peek of her Asana, which is a free website that you can use to track your contacts and to kind of track a lot of different stuff that I didn't even know about. So I'm excited to see. So Lacey, take it away. Thanks for being with us also.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad I was able to come tonight. Yeah, I guess tracking, you guys, it's something that, okay, so I've been in this about 6 years in November. And my first year as a coach, I might have even been a little bit longer than that, because I really didn't start doing, actively coaching for my first year until after my first year. So I wasn't tracking anything. Facebook messaging was my tracking system. How many of you started out that way? Can you say like, hey, I just lie? I mean, and maybe some of us still kind of do. It's okay to admit that, it's okay, because we all, we enter different phases of our business where we have to track differently. And where some methods start working for us, and then you realize, okay, this isn't working, so I need to switch this up because I'm not staying consistent with it. And that was one of the biggest things for me, was just not finding something that was just clicking with my brain that I could do consistently. How many of you guys are tracking right now? Like, have some method of tracking? You're so. Okay, like how many of you are, admit it, like maybe not as consistent as you would like to be? It's okay to admit that too, because I have those days, and like I said, I've been in this a while. But like I said, finding that method that works is so key. Some people, like, I've listened to so many calls on this, you guys, because organization is not my strong suit. And it's something I'm constantly working on. It's constantly on my goal board every year, get more organized, track a little bit better, find something different. And I've done the paper method. Like, I have a notebook, you guys, I started the year with. I got this fancy notebook. It has all these different colored sections in it. And I'm like, this is awesome. I'm going to write all of these people on this page and then on this page. And I did it for about a week. And then it's collecting dust on my shelf. And there's names in there that are probably still in there that I kind of lost track of because that system didn't work. And it's so important, like, to have a list. If you don't have a list right out the gate as a coach that you're working on, you're going to really struggle. And having these people that you're prospecting, your coaches, just new contacts, people that are in your challenge groups, you want to have a place that you can keep track of all of that. And like Laura said, I'm going to share a little bit with how I'm using Asana, and that is one thing that's working with my brain right now. But having that list first and foremost that you're plugging away from, and even dissecting that, who are your top prospects, like your hot list of people that you want to reach out to. And you want to have little places for each of these people so you can keep track of them. As far as ways that I have, keep tabs on people, there are means in Facebook where you can make lists of contacts, lists of friends. I know there's training on that, and maybe, Laura, you've talked about that kind of stuff in the past, but I make lists of people that I keep track of in Facebook. You go to friends, and then you make a little list, and then you just deposit people's names in there, and they don't know they're on a list. So I can manage the people that I want to talk to without getting stuck in the Facebook newsfeed. So that's just a way that I will focus, have focus on Facebook with certain people. But once I start connecting with people and start adding people, and doing my power hour, I put them in my Asana, and I have even like a little checklist of where I am in the process with people, because, you can connect with somebody, you can add somebody. This is what I've done in the past, added a new friend, and they've just been in my friends list and I haven't reached out to them ever, and that's somebody that I added for a reason, because I saw something in them that I wanted to connect with, whether they were going to be good in my business or good as just a friend, somebody that I relate to. I am with these people, because you want to have your hey girl with that person. You want to, have your CCQ with those people. And then you want to have, go through the process to where you're at that point, you can invite them to something that you are doing. And that was another way I figured out, through watching other YouTubes and being resourceful. It's like another thing I'd say, as being a leader, you want to be as resourceful as possible. You're going to hear so many different people's versions on things, but it's got to work for you. So ways that you guys can track, one of the, Laura just shared this with me, and the training that we're doing, the Level Up training, it was shared, a really awesome resource. And I think, Amber, I saw you using it. It's pretty, it's colorful. Some of us resonate with that kind of stuff, writing things down. I know we've seen the power of 4s, the power of 3s. There's so many documents out there. But visually, if you're a visual person, you might want to print off stuff. And have several copies of it. I'd say, weeks worth, 3 months out worth at a time. So you have no excuse why you don't have a sheet to track on. And have it in a binder. Create a binder for yourself if you're a physical note, paper, pen kind of person, and print off that pretty thing. For me, I would love to say I could use that, because I loved it. Visually, it's appealing to me, but I would start that for a week and I'd quit, because I do love the idea of tracking off things. But again, this is where I use Asana, and I actually have my daily 4s and my power hour activities in Asana. So I click it off every day and it shows up again the next day on my calendar. So I don't have to deal with paper. That's one thing, like, I got in such a bad habit of, is having sheets of paper everywhere. So if you're going to print and you're going to track, have it in a binder. Have it somewhere where you can, go back a year from now and say, okay, this is how I did in November. This is how I did in October. What did I do to get 10 Success Club points? How many people was I talking to? Having a method that you're really structured with. I mean, sometimes I fall short on that too, is just knowing exactly the ratio of how many people I've talked to versus, where I am, where I need to be. So that's one thing I do need to work on a little bit better. So, which I would say something that you guys could think about too. So yeah, those documents, those daily 4s, power of 4s, whatever it is that works for you. I know Laura and some of the coaches on my team are using Teamzy, which is structured specifically for Beachbody coaches. And you do get a month trial of that. I don't know if it was through I know we got it through Sherry. And it was a presentation, and then we had a discount code on it. I tried it for a month and I was like, yes, I told everybody, I'm like, you guys can get on this ish. It's amazing. Let's do this, because they show up a month later. Those people that are important contacts to you, people you want to keep in contact with, they're going to keep showing up. So I'm like, that's great. But then, like, for me, again, it was like, it didn't work. So maybe some of you guys have tried that too. And you're like, oh gosh, this is a great idea. And like Laura said, she's stuck paying for it now, but it's working. But it's a great thing though, it's a tracking tool. And if you use it, if you do it, it's going to work. And that's the thing. It's just doing it consistently every single day. What I do, you guys, when I sit down for my power hour, I have it all on Asana. And I have my little Asana screen like minimized, or I have my Facebook up. So I kind of do it side by side. There's so much you can do with this, guys. And I just want to show you how I, keep track of customers, keep track of people I'm talking to in that process. But there's so many other things that this thing can do. And I'm still working on figuring out how to even get better with it, because there's so many YouTubes out there. I can spend hours watching. But maybe I'll just shoot it right now just to kind of walk you guys through some of this, what I'm doing. Be easy for me to explain a little bit. Okay, can you guys see this okay? Okay, gotta try and move you guys off to the side or something here. Okay. So, how many are any of you guys using Asana right now? Okay. Some of you? Okay. Okay. So maybe you guys have awesome, other ways that you do it. I know a lot of the trainings that I have watched, so many people have different ways that they use this. This is what some of them I came across that work for me, that I've, started incorporating. But like, this is awesome because it puts every activity that you put in here and put a date on, it puts it in this calendar. So I basically can click on this, the date, and obviously I'm a few days behind because I took a couple of days off of my business. But it has every activity I need to do and names the people here that I need to follow up with. So it automatically, when I pop in there, it tells me exactly who I need to talk to. So what I did for my daily fours, for example, I just created a bunch of tasks in Asana. These are my minimum, how many people I'm going to add a day. I usually shoot for way more than that, but no matter what, I'm going to shoot for that much, and I kind of follow the daily fours. I'm going to invite 4 people, follow up with 4 people, connect with 4 people. And then I have at least 3 business opportunities throughout the week. And I have a reoccurring time on these. So what's cool is you could set up, a date on here. Well, obviously this is yesterday, but as soon as I click this off, it's going to show up, for tomorrow or today or whatever. So I have to go in there and go ahead and follow up with 2 people, but it's set up to show up every single day that I work my business. So easy way for me to do that when I'm sitting in there going through my, see there it shows up as today. I go through there in my Facebook. As soon as I add those people, I'll write their name down first. This is where the hand in hand, sometimes having paper and then transferring it to Asana is good, unless you're right here doing, Facebook, and you can kind of shift them over. So I'll add a new friend. So say I just did that. I went and I added my new friend. I checked it off. So I have a big ass list, is what I call it, of new friends and people that I want to connect with. So I instantly add them here. And, you could just name it your big list or your new contacts. And then I put a little note underneath. And this is one of my scripts that I use. So I just copy paste it when I'm in the middle of a conversation, or as soon as I add somebody, copy paste it and shoot it to them. I'll edit it a little bit, based on the person, and ask them a question. But that's just right there and ready for me to reach out to them. So say I just friended, okay, I'll use myself for example. I have a template. And this is where I track where I am in the process with these people, guys. I create a template, so it's just add a task, call it a template, and then you take and you make a little subtask list. Click that, and then you just start adding little subtasks. So I have, hey girl, this is my process that I want to be in with these people before I invite them. So I want to at least hey girl them, at least LCQ them a few times, 3 times. And then by then, hopefully we've warmed up in our relationship where I can invite them. So what I do with the template, as soon as I get a new contact, as soon as I've checked them off my list, I go in there and I click on my template and I say, I want to make a copy of my task. So I just friended Lacey and I create that new task. So when I create this new task, this little template is going to pop up there. And I do that every time so that I can keep track of where I am in the conversation with these people. Okay, so there's me, and and boom. So I can just depending on where I am, and I can put a date on it, check it off, and write little notes underneath what I've talked to them about. So we'll say Ariana, for example. What I do is I go, as soon as I add them as a friend, I copy their link to their Facebook page, so I instantly know where to find them. If I have their email address, I type their email address in here as well. And as I go, I click them right off the list. And I write notes, and I take my Facebook messages and I put them in here. and I'll add a tag. And this is another cool thing, you guys, is Core de Force. You know, I've tagged anybody that's been interested in Core de Force. So if I type Core de Force up here, anybody's name who I have plugged that in as a tag will show up as, you know, as a prospect for that program and for my upcoming group, which is really awesome to have tags for that, because anybody that has purchased a challenge pack, I put, you know, CDF challenge pack. So I know that they have purchased a challenge pack, so I can approach them later on down the road about maybe coaching, or say, you know, if they bought 21 Day Fix, I can approach them about Fix Extreme and check in on their journey and see how they are. And that's where these tags are really handy. So you just, you have a little tag button there, and you can make whatever tag you want, you know, follow up, whatever. Coach, probably a lot that have like coach prospects. You know, you can create all kinds of different tags for whatever to track. So that's what I do with my, you know, new friends and prospects and stuff. And as soon as they like become a coach or join a challenge group, I just take this and I drag them into another list. So like I have a challenge group list, I will drag them over there. If they're my coaches, I will drag them over there. So I'll just give myself, for example, move myself to my coaches, and then I'm kind of at the top of this list, and then I can add and put myself wherever. And I also have a template for coaches to help track me, or to track where I am in the process with my coaches as well. Send a welcome email, complete a new coach training, you know, all that stuff that you want to make sure that you're doing with your new coaches, and checking it off as you go. And same thing with that, you just go in there and make a copy of it, and then add their name, and then shift them around to wherever you need to put them in the process. And I know like some of you newer coaches, but as you grow, you're gonna want to have eyeballs on like elite points and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into that topic, but where I'm at now, I keep track of like my 2016 coaches, so I know where they're at. You have all kinds of just ways of tracking with tags and everything. So I have coaches, I put customers in here. Any coaches that are not my personally sponsored coaches that I've been keeping track of, I put them there. And let's see, my challenge groups. I have a couple of things for here. So like I have this is my newest group that I'm going to do. My Fierce Chicks Fight Club. And I just created a little header here, and I'll show you how to do this real quick. So if I add a task, like if you type this, it's just going to come on like a little subtask there. But if you put a colon after it, oops, on here, it turns into a little thing like that, and then you can create little things underneath. So if I have a specific name of a challenge group, I'll put the people's name under there to help me for future use as far as challenge groups go. And I learned this stuff, you guys, from other, like I said, other YouTubes that shared this kind of stuff, because I was not really knowledgeable with this and how effective and cool this could be and what you can do with it. You can drag people around, you put the notes under them when they've purchased. I have all this going on with people with my past groups. So that's just kind of how I guess I do all of my tracking, you know, with my customers. And this is obviously a work in progress too, because I have a notebook with a lot of customers in it as well. But I do my daily fours from here, my power hour activities, you know, these are things that you've seen on that pretty list too. But you need to have this stuff, whether it's in Asana like this or on a piece of paper. These are the activities that are going to move you forward. And you have to have a means of tracking that you're doing it. So I click off, I do this kind of stuff and just check, make sure I've posted, you know, make sure I've checked in with my challengers, or, you know, let's see. My wake up call, I have that set for every week. So every Tuesday I listen to that. But as long as you're tracking these activities and knocking them off your list every day, whether it's on paper, on one of those cool forms or this or wherever you track it. Make sure you're doing it. And also I should say too, if you don't know, Asana does have an app, because I know a lot of us are mobile. A lot of us are doing stuff from our phones. So having an app is really handy too. So when I'm on the move and I don't have my laptop readily available, then I can just add, if I'm adding a friend, add whatever, a new challenge group member, I just quickly plug it into the app. And then I don't have to worry about other pieces of paper and I can just do it on the spot like that. So, yeah, hopefully this is a little bit helpful here. But there's, like I said, so many different things you can do. I have a little list for dream team coaches. Another cool thing that I started doing was adding YouTube videos, because how many times are we pulling YouTube videos or links to things to share with people and having to search them on YouTube or search them in the back office? Well, I just started putting these in everything that's coming up. If I'm using it over and over again, I put a little link in there. So all I have to just go there, copy, paste, and boom. And what I have as a project to do is actually go under each one of these and have a link to the challenge pack even, or the base kit, or a little snippet of what I can copy and paste to these people about the product, to make it a lot easier. Because how many times are we repeating ourselves about what is the 21-day fix and all that jazz? So having those kind of templates in one spot is good. I do have them in Google Docs. I have them spread kind of here and there, and there's my organization issue, but it's somewhere. But having it all housed in one spot would be ideal, which is kind of what I'm shooting to do here, guys. Scripts is like, if you're doing your power hour, having scripts right there, easy for you to access. Sorry, I get dogs. Easy for you to access right there are handy. So I have scripts from all kinds of stuff that I pull from, that I use. So it's easy just to copy paste there, go over to my Facebook, plug it in, boom, move on to the next person, check it off my list. I just love how handy this is, you guys, and it's easy, it's free, and there's so much you can do with it. So hopefully that's kind of helpful, guys.
That's so helpful. That's awesome. If you guys have any questions, like, could we open it up if anyone has any questions about how you did something or how you set something up? So if you guys have a question, absolutely, just feel free to unmute yourselves. I muted all of you. And go ahead and ask any questions.
Yeah. Hi, it's Amber. I've had a problem with but maybe it's because I wasn't using the calendar view. When I make a subtask and have a due date on it, it wasn't. And then you go back to the main page and you only see the whole list of names. You don't see all the subtasks. Mm-hmm. It wasn't saying like it was due today, even though one of the subtasks was.
Oh, really?
But it's probably because you're looking in your calendar. Those subtasks are showing up for you in the calendar view.
Looking here.
Does that make sense? What I'm trying to.
Kinda. Let's see.
So I can open mine.
I'm gonna try and look again here.
Mine isn't as pretty as yours. Will be though.
I guess I didn't really. I don't know. I pay attention to that. One thing I do too is I know that's just like my quick glance when I pull up the calendar. But then when I go to my projects, especially go to my big ass list, I will just put it in order according to the due date. So as soon as I see, I just go from bottom to top, or, oldest to newest when it comes to the active, whatever. But those all do show up for me, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to start on this.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you show me, because I've been playing around with it and I've created the template for like my following up with new customers.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched so many people do it. I cannot figure out. I know you said you copied it.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, like, okay, what is your step? Like after you hit copy task, then what do you do? Like when you're wanting to add that under the person's name?
Okay, hold on.
I watched like an hour video and I rewound it like 4 times. I'm like, why
So,
am
like,
I not getting this?
After you make the person?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to copy task. I'm typing Amber.
Oh, so you put the person's name.
Yes.
That's what, okay. And
Yeah.
then it goes, so you've already got their name on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just put their name on, that's the name of the.
Yep. Well, whoever the name of the person is, yeah, as soon as you hit copy, then yep, there's Amber. Then I'm going to plug in all your stuff from there.
So so you're not putting the person on the list yet. So like if you have a new friend, then you're going to just go to copy template and then put their name in and then it's going to show up.
Yep. Yeah. As soon as I add the new friend, and then
I was already putting the person on the list and then trying to copy the template.
Trying to copy it. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Yay.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah, I know. It was tricky for me at first. And I was like, I'm like, what the heck am I doing wrong? I'm not getting all these people on here until I was, that's what I did. Yeah, I'm still playing around with this, you guys. Like, if you dig in and just search YouTube, Asana, how to manage your Beachbody business through it, there's so many different methods of it. It's crazy. Like, people break it down. I just watched one not long ago. They had a project for active contacts, people that they're currently talking to, and then old contacts. So there's people that they haven't talked to in a long time, and they just move them from, okay, I haven't talked to them for a while to I'm talking to them right now. So you know who you're actively in conversation with. Because I used to kind of fall in the Facebook messaging trap and just go by that. But then as you keep talking to people, you find the names pushing down the list and you're like, oh man, that was like 2 months ago and I forgot to follow up with her. So yeah, this really has been a lifesaver for me in so many ways, because I was losing track of people like nobody's business. And I'm like, well, I wonder why I'm having a hard time this month, because I forgot to follow up with these people. So that's where, yes, consistency is king, like big time. When you start this, just find what works and do it every day, and stick with it until you realize I can't do this anymore. I got to find something else. Because when it does stick, it will stick, and you're going to see success. You're going to be following up more. You're going to be adding more. You're going to be, having more, growth in your business. When you have that kind of consistency, it's so important, because I've been there where I've fallen off track, and I've been there where I've been super consistent, and it's night and day.
So cool. I'm so jealous because I was using Asana and then I stopped using it. And then I went to Teamsy and paid money, and now I'm like, dang it. I always have buyer's remorse.
But it's working though. Is it working good though?
It is, yes. And I love that Teamsy, it tells you who to talk to. Like, you don't even have to, it just pulls up, 5 to 10 people, and you just click through and you copy and paste what you sent them and you're done. So that part is nice, but Asana is, it has a lot of really good features and it's free. Yay. Does anybody else have any questions? Comments? No? Cool. Well, let me take a quick screenshot because we haven't done one of those in a long time. So just smile and I'll take it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, looks like yep, perfect. Beautiful. Awesome. Well, thanks for jumping on, guys. If you guys have any other questions about setting up Asana, or, feel free to, since I used it before, I can help a little bit, but Lacey's the expert user, so feel free to reach out to her if you have any questions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for jumping on.
Bye.
Bye.